Hello everyone, my name is Zoe, and welcome to another gameplay commentary. Now, this video is going to be a little update to my previous video in which I discussed my symptoms of schizophrenia. I want to take you guys along in this wild journey of mine and keep you all updated as best I can, so I really want to keep making these update videos to keep you guys, in the loop, so to speak. Now, I won't be going over every symptom like I did in my last video. Instead, I will only be discussing my symptoms that have changed or worsened. If you would like to hear each of my symptoms in detail, then watch the video in the description. So, without further ado, where do we begin? To put it shortly, my symptoms have overall gotten worse. After my last video, my hallucinations, both visual and auditory, have sadly worsened. They have gotten very scary, and it has been difficult to ignore them and differentiate them from reality. I suppose first, let's start with the visual hallucinations. To summarize from my last video, I said that I hallucinated tall, shadowy men that kind of look like Slender Man, and they are completely dark like a shadow, and are very tall with long arms. They have no face, though, thankfully, thank God. But I said that they mainly stay stuck to my walls, floor, or ceiling. Like how shadows normally do. Nowadays, they have become 3D, and instead appear standing in the middle of rooms like a human. One is always present with me, whether I am at my desk, in the kitchen, in bed, or even in the shower. One is always near me and watching me with a death stare. I just checked, and there is currently one behind my back. It's closer than normal, probably because of how stressed and anxious I am recording this right now. But that's okay. This all sounds very scary, but luckily all they do is stand there. They don't walk or try to do anything violent, but they will teleport around as they follow me. For example, like I said, there is one behind me right now, but I'm sure if I left my room and walked into the kitchen and looked behind me, he would appear there as well. Like I said, they just follow me everywhere. Funnily enough, they appear in the road as I'm riding in a car. They actually get ran over. It's actually kind of funny. It is the only interaction with them that I have found. If I try and walk through them normally, I just kind of phase through them as if they were a hologram. They are opaque, and I cannot see through them. But if I try and stare at one long enough, it will become like all staticky, like an old TV, and begin to fade out of reality. But if I blink or turn away, they phase right back in. At this point, I am honestly used to having them around. They only really creep me out when I'm in the shower or trying to sleep. It's odd trying to sleep knowing you are being stared down. It's a really weird feeling, but I'm getting better with it with due time. I've yet to find a way to make them disappear. With one example that I could think of is one time while I was with my therapist, I told him there was one in the room watching me, and he stood up and kicked where it was standing. And oddly enough, it actually disappeared for around 15 minutes until the end of the session, and I left the room. Then he appeared again. That about sums up my visual hallucinations. Other than one extra thing. It has been several months, but one day, I was home alone, and I peeked out of my window, as I always do, and I actually hallucinated multiple vehicles in my front lawn and in the street. It sent me into a state of panic, and I had a bit of a mental breakdown since I thought they were going to get me. I kept checking the windows over and over again, and eventually they all just kind of disappeared. They were there for maybe 10 minutes. To this date, that is the only major thing that I have hallucinated, other than the tall men. Other than some small shadows and other small things like bugs. While my visual hallucinations are scary, I am thankful that they are just big shadowy men and not something scarier like I don't know, like a huge monster or something. I don't know. I know there are people out there that have it worse than me, and I feel for them. I really do. Well, that basically sums up my visual hallucinations. So let's move on to my auditory hallucinations, which are the voices that I hear in my head. Since the last video, the voices have gotten much more vocal. They speak nearly 24/7 non-stop, and the things they say to me have turned violent at times. The voices used to be fairly recurrent, but they only really got bad when I was stressed or anxious. I remember recording the last video and saying the voices were talking while I was making it rather difficult. That is still the case right now. I'm really struggling here, but I'm doing my best. I hope you all understand. The voices talking 24/7 makes it difficult for me to talk to other people, since they often speak over whoever I'm talking to, causing me to ask the other person to repeat themselves multiple times. The things they say vary greatly. They mostly just say what I am doing or comment on what I'm doing and repeat themselves over and over. Right now, they are just saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop," over and over again. I can feel my anxiety rising still, so they will probably start telling me to run soon, like they always do. Other examples of what they say include telling me to not trust whoever I am talking to, or that the person I'm talking to is crazy or evil, even if I know and trust the person beforehand, like my mother or father. They constantly tell me to not trust my therapist and to run away from him. They really don't like him for some reason. The voices are also mean to me. They call me a loser and a failure all the time, and a stuttering bastard, which oddly enough is what my old bullies from school would call me. There's probably some connection there, but I'm not smart enough to make that connection. If I'm eating, they call me names like fat ass. If I make a simple mistake, like dropping something or stubbing my toe, they just call me a dumbass over and over again. The voices reach their worst when it is nighttime and I am in bed trying to sleep. That is when they begin to turn violent. I am told constantly to hurt myself, more specifically to slap and punch myself in the head or chest, and to bite myself. As you may imagine, it is very difficult to sleep while this is going on. It isn't fun, and I dread going to sleep every night. Now, what I do to try and combat this is that during the day, I listen to music or video or live stream on high volume pretty much non-stop. I'm never not listening to something, just anything to drown out the voices. At night, I bring my tablet in bed and try and focus on that until I am dead tired enough to sleep. I also take sleep aid medication combined with my other medications, which already make me drowsy, so that I basically pass out anytime I try to sleep, hoping to fall asleep quickly. But this strategy doesn't always work though, and some nights I am just kept up for hours, being forced to listen to the evilness inside my head. It's very hard. I don't know how healthy this is, but I speak back to the voices throughout the day when I am alone. We have simple conversations, but they rarely say more than 1 to 3 words at a time. They just kind of repeat themselves over and over again. One example I can think of is one time I heard a noise outside, so I checked the windows again and asked out loud to myself if it was my stepdad, because he does a lot of outdoor work. And the voices simply answered back, "He's dead." So that was a fun and engaging conversation. My auditory hallucinations are probably the worst symptom that I show at the moment. Like my visual hallucinations, they are always present, but the voices are especially evil. I don't know, I believe a demon lives in my head or something. I could go on forever about my hallucinations since I live with them 24/7 on a daily basis. You know, they are just part of my life now. Hopefully I didn't ramble for too long. I hope I didn't scare you away. I know this video has been kind of doom and gloom so far, because that is just the harsh reality of things. But I wanted to end this video on a good note, with some good news on my condition. I am lucky to have family and friends that love and support me, and I have all of you, my loyal viewers, of 10 plus years. I also have a very good psychiatrist and therapist. They have helped me tremendously, I gotta say. A couple of months ago, my psychiatrist started me on new medications, and those combined with therapy have finally given me good results. While my symptoms have gotten worse since the last video, as of a couple of months ago, the symptoms have finally stopped getting worse for the first time in 3 years. Now, they haven't gotten any better. I still live with the things I talked about earlier, but they have finally stopped worsening, which is a good thing. This means with the help of therapy, I have began to improve in my day-to-day life. I've been living life less afraid. I no longer fear for my life every waking moment. and I have began leaving the house again after being a hermit for years. I have been going to grocery stores, restaurants, my doctor's office, many places. It may not seem like much, but I've made huge progress for myself, and this is a big deal to me. Even making this video is a huge milestone. I've been wanting to make videos and live streams in my absence, but I've just been so deathly afraid to do so due to my once intense delusions. But thanks to the help of medical professionals, I have been able to sit down and write a script and prepare a video. Keep in mind, this was still very difficult. This video has been in the making for weeks, despite the length. I just get overwhelmed very easily. I'm currently a stressed and anxious mess, but I am pushing through. This is like a form of exposure therapy for me right now. So thank you for watching this if you are, because you are helping me. I hope to continue making progress. My schizophrenia will never go away. There is no cure, but it is treatable, and I am being treated at the moment. I have no idea what the future holds or what it may look like. My hallucinations will be there until the day I die, but hopefully with time they will be less scary and easier to push aside, so I can see my true reality. I'm only 24 and 3 years into this illness. I have a lifetime ahead of me, but I am optimistic. Schizophrenia sucks. Okay, there's no sugarcoating it. But for the first time in 3 years, I am happy to be alive, and I am looking forward to the future. I am not alone in this. I have a huge support group behind me at all times, and I just want to say how appreciative I am for that. I am very grateful, and I don't take it for granted whatsoever. So, where do I go from here? I know I want to keep making videos, and that I want to make my long-awaited return to live streaming on Twitch in the next few weeks. If you would like to join me on this journey, please subscribe to this channel and follow my Twitch. The link will be in the description. I know I say this in every video these days, but I really just want to thank you all for sticking with me for these past 10 years. I will be forever grateful for the small community that I have gathered here on the internet. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Your love and support keeps me going and keeps bringing me back. I will never get tired of the feeling of seeing your comments and chat messages. You have no idea how much you all mean to me. This place feels like a family because it is one. I'm going to say thank you one more time for watching this video. This is the hardest video I've ever made, but I did it, and I am proud of myself. I hope you all enjoyed my rambles. I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Again, please keep an eye on my Twitch channel in the description. I want to try live streaming one day since this seemed to have gone well enough. I hope you all have a good day and a good life. I love you all. Take care, and goodbye for now. I hope to see you again.